Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and I'm here in New York with Alex Petrossian, Managing Director of Petrossian Caviar. This is part of our mini-series on how to eat and enjoy caviar. And right now we're going to talk about the different types of caviar, their grades, and some of the characteristics of each, just to help someone that's not familiar with caviar kind of understand the range and the differences.
Exactly. So let's start by the Osetra Special Reserve. So caviar is the flavor and the texture and the color. It's kind of dictated by the species. So there is a couple of species on the table. So the Osetra is right here. We have the Dorinki and we have the Kaluga.
And so they're all sturgeon.
They're all sturgeon, but different species of sturgeon.
Okay.
The Osetra yield a caviar that's usually larger eggs, very round, very beautiful, very light in color, like the Special Reserve one. Since it's a Special Reserve, the flavor is going to be very deep, very pronounced, and it's more or less a caviar that's very targeted to connoisseur, people that are used to caviar, that really enjoys the deeper flavor. The Osetra Imperial is a kind of middle range maturation, so I would say this is great for your second buy or third buy that really work you up to the Special Reserve. Mm-hmm. The Dorinki is kind of the entry level caviar, not because it's not delicious, but because this flavor is not as strong as the other one. And it's very beautiful. So for the first time, I think the Dorinki works great. And the Kaluga is one of the reminiscence we have of the beluga that we used to have back in the days. Huge eggs, very deep flavor, very interesting, very round. They're all unbelievable. They're all unbelievable.
So within this species, you've got Kaluga, Dorinki, Osetra. Right, that's going to describe the fundamental characteristic of the egg, how large it is, how firm it is.
Correct.
Where does color come in?
Well, color is we in today's world we eat with our eyes first. When we get a dish at a restaurant, the first thing we think about is, should I take a picture of it? Yeah. So the color comes into play, but for us, the most important part is the flavor. So the way we grade our caviar is first the flavor, then the texture, then the color. So the color comes in last. For caviar to be Special Reserve, it needs to be at least 8 months old, 8 months mature, I should say. It needs to be large eggs and it needs to be light in color. If one of those things don't go into play, then it gets downgraded to another grade.
So why don't you say something to that effect, because so many people talk about the color, and I just say, this particular color green is what people associate with the finest caviar.
Exactly. The caviar, the lighter it is, the rarer it is, it doesn't have anything to play with the flavor, but the rarest is the lightest caviar. So caviar comes in very wild, different shade of colors. From this yellowish gold to this brown hue to this beautiful darker brown and to this very nice yellow color. And they're all very different. They can be black, they can be brown, they can be gray.
So the common misperception that that
caviar is black.
That black caviar is less expensive or not as good as green caviar is really a misconception.
It is completely a misconception. You can have a delicious caviar that's completely pitch black, and you can have a delicious caviar and a horrible caviar that's very light in color. It doesn't bring anything. It's just for the pleasing of the eye. Yes, the pleasing of the eye.
Okay. And so where does the color come from? How is that?
There's no way to know. The sturgeon is a very complicated animal, and we do a lot of research on it. But the more you do research on it, the more you know you can control the color, you can control the size of the eggs, you can control. So it's all based on the environment, the temperature of the water, the sun exposure. There's a lot of things comes into play, and we just at the surface of what's possible and what not. But you can't really tell, or this caviar was light last year, so I'm going to take the same one. It can be completely different. The only thing our job is to make sure that when you buy, for example, a special reserve, etc., or San Imperial, etc., my goal is for the caviar to be as close as possible to the one you had last year.
Okay.
It will never be exactly the same because different sturgeon, different. But our job is to make sure that, and that's why we grade, that's why we mature, to control that the flavor you get is going to be very close to what you had when you had the special, Imperial, etc.
Well, one of the things that was surprising to me whenever I was visiting your Long Island factory or warehouse is that you still individually test.
Oh yeah.
Every single batch of caviar. So, I mean, it's not graded. I mean, of course, the species is known before it comes in.
Yes.
But as far as the grade goes, or how much longer you're going to allow it to mature, I mean, there's not a caviar that leaves, your warehouse that someone hasn't tasted.
Oh yeah, and there's only 2% in the warehouse that can do that. So me and one of our trusted employees that's been with us for 30 years has been training over and over again. And so each time we have a caviar that leaves from our website or boutique or anything, we have tried it the day before you get it. And it's all packed to order. It's all because you need to be able to control the merchandise as much as possible.
What are the different grades? Just walk me through.
So there is the more mature, the highest grade is Special Reserve, the rarest. Then you have the President grade. We call it Ossetra President or Transmontana
President.
Exactly. And the younger one is the San Imperial we have here. After that is Royal, and after that is Classic. Classic is the younger. It doesn't mean that you wouldn't like it or a connoisseur wouldn't like it. It just means that it's younger. So
it's different.
Some people prefer a stronger flavor. Some people prefer, and it doesn't matter, how the size of your wallet. It really matters. The only thing that is dictated is your own taste buds. Some of my best customers that are very wealthy love Classic and prefer Classic over Special Reserve, and some people prefer the Special Reserve over the Classic. It really it doesn't. It's not that the Classic is a lower grade. The Classic is just younger maturation.
And so it's totally an individual preference and just what you enjoy. And that's probably the most important thing, that you kind of taught me about caviar is that, at the end of the day, don't get too much caught up in, the quality level or the price or the species.
Don't let the price dictate your buy. It's
what you enjoy.
Exactly. It really is what you enjoy.
And with good champagne, there's no such thing as a bad caviar, at least from Petrossian.
Exactly. That's what. exactly. That's one of our guarantees. The caviar you buy from us, it's going to be one of the best caviar there is. There's no way around it. And if for some reason you're not happy about it, we'll exchange it.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
No, my pleasure, Kirby.
Appreciate that. So it's very, very informative. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications by clicking the bell to the right of the subscribe button so that you can learn whenever we release new videos. If you have any questions or comments about anything we discussed on this video, please ask them in the comments section below. And of course, please visit hangerproject.com, where we have the largest, most comprehensive collection of luxury garment care and shoe care accessories in the world, as well as many other incredible products for the well-dressed. And while you are there, subscribe to our newsletter to receive notifications of new product launches, promotions, as well as a weekly digest of all the videos we publish here on our YouTube channel.